Hey friends, welcome to Your Day Extra. I'm Alex King. I'm your host for today, joined by Aliyah Baker, who is the Good Day Dayton producer. And we also have Andy Gonzales, who is our executive producer in the mornings. How are you guys doing this morning?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great.
And we're your Dayton-based podcast breaking down local stories and national headlines. So let us dive right in. We're going to start with our more serious stories of the day. So Andy, go ahead.
Yeah, so we got the sad news yesterday that the massive search for 5 missing people in a submersible ended. They found debris near the side of the Titanic where they were heading to, and they pretty much, Coast Guard officials saying all 5 people are now dead. This came right after the very important 96-hour mark because originally we didn't know what happened. We just thought they were lost. So we were assuming that there were 96 hours of air, which passed, I think, around 8 yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning, yep.
Yep. But they found it, really the debris right after that, surprisingly.
Yeah, I know. That was kind of a crazy coincidence. They found it right after.
Yeah, it's very strange. Like, it's a very strange coincidence that it was like an hour after it was declared done.
Yeah, like right after, it's like, okay, now people are stopping to care because they ran out of air.
Yeah, very tragic situation. I think we were all kind of holding our breath waiting for, hopefully good news out of this situation. But unfortunately, that just did not happen. It's terrifying to think about.
I think the saddest part of the story is yesterday it was revealed that the 19-year-old that was on the ship didn't even want to get on the ship.
Yep.
And he only got on because he wanted to please his dad for Father's Day.
Yep, I saw
and that
that
just
too.
made me so sad because he had his whole life ahead of him and he could have done something with that.
Yeah, and I'm sure his dad was just so excited to take him on this adventure.
Yeah.
But I did read something about, they kind of went into it knowing the possibilities. I believe I read something where it said literally just the first page of the waiver said death 3 times on it.
Yeah.
Which I feel like should have been the first red flag.
Probably.
Yeah, I think if you're paying that much money to go down there, you kind of have to know what you're putting yourself into. But you do it because of the adrenaline rush, of the fact that you're one of a small group of people that have gone down there, which is pretty exciting when you think about it.
Yeah, it's very adventurous. It's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm sure when in the moment they were truly enjoying it, but whatever happened, it was obviously not good. One thing that's been really shocking throughout this is seeing all of the social media posts. I mean, we can be a little bit more desensitized to these things just because we see it every day, but social media has been just making fun of these people left and right.
I gotta say, I find some of the things funny. I know that might not be like the nice person thing to do, but I do find some of them funny. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to think because the common person, we don't have the resources to go on a trip like this. So we have a different thought process because none of us would ever even have the opportunity to say yes or no to this kind of
Exactly.
trip.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, yeah, I would never go down there, but we don't have the money to even think about
the average
doing that.
person is not spending that much money on something like that if they have that money.
And you could say, I would never do it, but if you had the money,
Maybe you would.
maybe you would.
But I also would want to go on a ship that wasn't powered by a Logitech game controller.
Game controller, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's true.
Yeah.
There was something I was talking to our morning producer, Alex, about this a couple days ago, which is if you had the money, would you rather go to space or visit the Titanic?
Oh, go to space.
I would, definitely go to
There's
space.
way more tested safety precautions for that than the ocean. The ocean's way scarier also.
Yeah, the ocean is terrifying. I grew up in Florida, and it's just one of those things where you kind of have to know just how unforgiving the sea is.
Yeah, that's true. I will say that my husband actually brought up a really good point. I might butcher this, but he said the amount of space that has been explored is equivalent to 1 glass of water.
Oh my goodness.
From the ocean.
Really?
Oh wow, that's even horrifying to think about.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. I may have butchered it, but it just goes to show how much water has been undiscovered, how much ocean, and then also space itself, the galaxies, and all of that.
Yeah.
Even imagine the ocean life. I actually went on a vacation where I paddleboarded out into the ocean, and I actually paddleboarded right into a pod of dolphins, and they were literally like inches from my board and like coming up and going out, and my heart was like racing. I was like, are they gonna knock me off this board? Like, I'm scared of them. Like, I know you guys are probably nice, but I've heard dolphins can do mean things to you.
Yeah, seriously.
Yep.
Well, you know what? Speaking of mean ocean life, let's perfect segue. You want to head into your story?
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about the orca attacks happening in the Atlantic Ocean. There's scientists are like puzzled by the behavior because the animals just are not thought of to have the capacity to like carry out consistent behavior against humans, and they've recently been attacking yachts left and right, like indiscriminately. And it's thought that either like this is just a fad, that this is just a fad behavior and it'll go away, or they're just being playful and they're not even meaning to like try and hurt us.
Yeah.
But the biggest theory that I'm actually quite a fan of is that the White Gladys, that's her name, she's the main orca who is leading these attacks because she was traumatized by a boat or a fishing net and got severely injured by one of these boats. So she's remembering that. I like to think of it as kind of like an elephant memory, like how they're remembering somebody who hurt them very badly. So they're just associating all objects that look like that. So she's leading her whole pod to attack these. And I'm wondering if they're ever going to give up, or if it will become a like behavior that orcas will continue through their next
if they're
like life cycles.
going to continue to be aggressive. That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the one video where there was these two men. They weren't even on a very big boat, and it was, you know, it was, I think, turned into kind of a meme where it was like, this looks like something out of a scary movie, and it was the orca just. They move fast. They move fast. So that is terrifying. What would you guys do if you were in a situation and you saw that coming for you?
I would be the help, signaling SOS immediately.
Yeah.
Like, please save us, because I don't think you should ever mess with nature. I don't think you should mess with animals. Especially when you're in their home turf. Like, you should definitely back off immediately.
Especially when they're that big.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen Jaws enough to know this doesn't end well for you.
I've also watched enough nature documentaries where I've seen the orcas tossing their like prey around and just playing with them. Orcas are like the one animal you don't want to mess with. Like, they might not mess with us now, but now that they are starting to,
well, they're starting to.
They might start like actually attacking. Like, what if they develop to actually start attacking humans who are swimming like in the ocean? I don't know how close they actually ever get to shore.
Yeah.
But if they actually,
but you know, those are those people that are out on boats, jumping into the middle of the ocean. That's terrifying. This is why I do not, when I actually get into the ocean, I do not want to go further than like hip level, because even sharks, they can swim up pretty close to the shore. So it's getting to a point where I'm like, I don't want to get into their territory.
Maybe I'll just sit on the sand.
It's like, if I go on a boat, I will say I did on my honeymoon in St. Lucia, we did go snorkeling, but after a while I was like, okay, this is kind of creepy. I'm gonna go back to the boat. So
that's safety until the orcas come.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, interesting. Oh, I wonder if it could have something to do with like if something's going on frequency-wise in the ocean.
Oh, that could be it. They're all sitting still.
Something's going on.
That could be.
See, I read out, and again, this is social media, so you never know how accurate it is. But that there are social animals that like to imitate others. So that goes to your theory that they see one doing it, another one does it, and eventually it just becomes like a group habit.
Yeah. This, I guess, it may become a pattern that we see more often with them, unfortunately, which it's sad because I feel like up until now they've been very peaceful. So
at least with us, I do think that fishermen should take this as a lesson and not try to mess with them, because I believe they are on the endangered species list. So I don't know if they can be fished or not. But I would think this should be like a lesson for anybody who is out on the boats. Like, don't try to please respect them, and don't think that this is your territory just because we're the like sentient beings.
Well, even then though, they're not attacking fishermen mostly. It's
like just big yachts.
Ooh, wow, nice to have a yacht. All right, and transitioning, I'm going to talk about my first story. So UPS drivers will be getting air conditioning in their delivery vehicles for the first time ever.
That's actually really exciting. My boyfriend, actually, he was a FedEx driver, and that was like a big problem he told me it's a big problem for FedEx, UPS, and USPS. They don't have air conditioning in their trucks, and he would always tell me how hot he would get and like almost to heat exhaustion just from delivering in his truck.
Yeah, exactly. I can't imagine. So the company announced that all newly purchased U.S. small package delivery vehicles will have air conditioning starting January 1st, 2024. So it's still going to take a little bit of time. But new cars will be allocated to the hottest parts of the country first. So that's good.
Yeah.
So the company also agreed to install exhaust heat shields in the new cars to minimize heat from the floor by 17 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And then a forced air induction system will be installed to bring fresh air from the front of the vehicles to the cargo area as well. So that's cool. They said these enhancements will be made to the standard package cars, which make up around 95% of their delivery fleet.
Wow.
So, I mean, just think about how hot it gets in your car.
Yeah.
And these people, and the thing is, I know some people, I've talked to some people in the newsroom and they're like, well, they're in and out. So really, that's why they've gotten away with it. But that makes it even hotter when you're running back and forth.
Yeah, because
carrying heavy packages.
No time to cool down at all.
Yep.
You're just sitting there having to run out. You're not even able to sit other than to like drive a measly like 10 paces to get to the next mailbox.
Exactly. So it's just insane to me that this is just now like a
it should have definitely. I've known that it's like a big thing. Like the employees have been asking this for years now. Like I'm glad that they're finally listening to them and giving them like the safety measures. Like it's shocking how it's not coming in. Like it should have been like right at the start of this.
Yeah,
it should have been like a common sense thing to do. Like put that in there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, during the pandemic, we saw a lot of people starting to leave stuff out on their porches, like snacks and water and stuff. And so that stuff, it makes you realize why they're so grateful for little things like that, even just when they're out and about doing their job.
They're really the backbone of our like modern society, because without them we would not be able to do anything.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And I actually know someone I follow on Instagram who is a mail carrier, and she I think has posted a lot of stuff about the heat in the summertime as well, just a standard mail carrier. So I don't know if they have air conditioning or not, but I feel like their vehicles are even less updated, I guess. So I don't even.
Yeah, and those just seem stuffy. Because anytime I pass by a delivery vehicle, like it just, for some reason, it just seems stuffy to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've actually seen Amazon drivers. I don't know if this is up to their like code or whatnot, but Amazon drivers that come through my complex, I'll see them like wearing their little vest, but not wearing a shirt under their vest. Like, because they're that hot and like they can't like.
That's so bad.
It's so
should not get to that.
And Amazon even has the more updated vehicles. Like they don't even have like the old USPS vehicles.
Right.
They have like new vans, and I'm not even sure those vans have air conditioning and like.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll start following in UPS drivers.
I hope it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely cannot imagine. All right. So moving on to our next story, Andy.
Right. So I don't know how popular the Academy Awards are anymore, but if you're a filmmaker and you want your film to be nominated for Best Picture, there are now new requirements. One of them is they're now requiring, or at least for the 2025 awards, so films in 2024 need to be in theaters longer. So the new requirements are must have expanded release in 10 of the top 50 markets. Right now, it just has to be one city out of 6. So they have a list of 6. And as long as it releases in one of those 6 cities, you're in. So this way it gets more people out there. It gets more movies out there. The Academy says part of this is because they think a healthy theatrical environment is vital to Hollywood success.
To me, it sounds like they're going in favor of like franchises like Marvel and stuff, and not because like it's much easier for say a smaller or less like a smaller budgeted movie to get a slot in one of the 6 cities, but now they have to get it in 10 of the top 50 markets. I feel like that's going to make it harder for anybody who's even trying to like get their film out there to even get it like into the category and be recognized.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And only the big directors and the big producers are going to be winning these awards as they've won
Well, I mean,
them.
they already are.
Yeah, they're already winning them.
Which is the issue.
But like,
You go
it's
to the
making it
movies-
even more of an exclusive thing.
Well, the issue is you go to the movies, it's only these big Marvel films.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the issue. Because really, I think it's mostly aimed at streamers, where where they'll put a movie out, limited release for a week or so, or even less, and then just qualify.
Okay, I didn't even think about that from that.
Yeah, because I
perspective.
think, for example, The Irishman, Martin Scorsese's movie, was available on limited release in New York City, and then it qualified.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But then it was on Netflix, mostly.
Mostly.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Do you think this will benefit movie theaters a little bit more?
I mean, it has to.
Yeah.
Because you're acquiring more movies to be shown in theaters.
Yeah, exactly.
So now if Netflix or Amazon produce a movie, they need to show it in theaters before
Right.
Yeah.
bringing it on.
And for a longer
platform.
time as well, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
And Disney can't just be like, oh, here's this like really big blockbuster movie on like one week of streaming and then go straight like in the theater and then straight to streaming.
Exactly.
1 week in one city and then go straight
Yeah.
to streaming.
Yeah, that's interesting because I have to admit I am that person who, if something comes out in theaters, I'm usually like, oh, I'm just gonna wait until I can see it at home. So, well,
Yeah, I could count the amount of times I've been in movies in the last like 5 years in one hand.
I just went to see The Little Mermaid. So,
My favorite, I went to see Across the Spider-Verse, and that was been my favorite
that's next on
theater
our list.
Yeah.
experience in a while. I think that movie was made perfectly for to see it in theaters.
Yeah, did you
also.
see it in 3D?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine.
I also saw that they actually released that movie with different scenes for different cities. So different scenes, like some of the scenes are like they all have different small changes for each of them. So
Okay,
it's like,
gotcha.
I love that they put that much detail into the movie
Yep. So now you have to do a road trip.
to see all the different
Exactly.
Yes, I love that.
Well, you know what? Speaking of movies,
Yeah. So the live action. So we needed to like. Should we stop making live action remakes? Because I feel like it's killing the people's imagination, or should we keep going? Because as you said, The Little Mermaid was really good compared to the other Disney live actions that people have said that are not very good. Like, do you guys agree? Like, would you want to see more live actions of the same cartoon movies that you've already seen, or would you rather them come up with new ideas and inventive ideas?
yeah, I mean, I personally have loved seeing the live action, just seeing what they do with it, because I do think it's almost a challenge, and I look forward to each time that they release a new one. I know I was really nervous about Lion King, and I loved Lion
Really?
King. I thought they killed that.
That was one of the ones I've seen. I saw a lot of high critics, like nobody liked that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Well,
they did so good.
Can you call the Lion King live action when it's all CGI?
CGI, yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
That's true.
That's true.
But I thought they did really well with it. I thought all the voices, they picked excellent actors and actresses. And yeah, so that was like kind of what fueled my love for it. And then just seeing The Little Mermaid recently, I personally loved it. I know people have been feeling kind of both ways. I know it's kind of a little bit of a cheesy movie, so it's kind of hard
Yeah.
for a live action remake, but I think they did the best with what they could.
I think
Yeah.
I think doing remakes is good if you do it in a way where it makes the story different somehow. I think The Little Mermaid actually succeeded in that, where they made it different, but still like stayed true to what the story's like core message. But like so their next live action slots are, I believe it's Lilo and Stitch and Moana.
Moana, yeah.
And I just don't
Why?
think Moana is old enough for a remake. Like I can understand Little
Yeah.
Mermaid, Cinderella,
Yeah.
Snow White, all those old ones, but like Moana just came out like not
Exactly.
even
Give it a
in the
little bit of
last
time
decade.
first. Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's in the new animation style still, so it's not even like something that needs to be re-updated.
I
or
mean,
anything.
to be fair, I don't think Little Mermaid or Lion King needed to be updated in the first place. But part of the reason why these things are so successful is because the nostalgia factor. And yeah, you're not there with Moana.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. I'm gonna get on my little soapbox now. I'm tired of remakes. The reason I do not go to the movie theaters is because I don't watch remakes or sequels. Because I'm tired of it.
The sequels are never as good as the OGs.
No. With the
agree.
exception of like Godfather Part
Yeah.
2. But even that was what, the 70s?
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back? Like, we have to go back 40, 50
Or,
years.
like, even if they did, like, I agree with the not wanting remakes. I hate the remakes. I would much rather see Hollywood come up with like new ideas. I'd love to see new princesses.
They
new
can't think of new ideas.
And like they don't even need to. They could even go through like folklore that they haven't done yet.
Yeah,
like, things
exactly.
like that. But I don't see the problem with remakes. But I wish it wasn't so like 3 every year. Like it could be like 1 every 5 years or something like that. Not one coming out every year after the other.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I do think it's too early for Moana. I will say I watched Mulan when it came out on Disney Plus, and I did really like that, especially because I like that they didn't add the singing.
They took the singing
It was a little
out.
bit more realistic. So I did like Mulan as well. I don't know. I'm just a cheeseball in those movies, so I think they should keep doing it. But I do agree. I think, it's kind of showing a lack of creativity on the industry part, and I would like to see, something different. So hopefully.
Yeah. Well, part of that's money. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of, there's this channel called, I think, Screen Rant, and they do a pitch meeting thing where it's a writer pitching a movie to a movie executive. And anytime the executive says, I don't know about that, his response is, well, this is based off a previous property that made a lot of money. Oh, never mind, I love that. Yeah. And that's what this is. This is just a cash grab.
Yeah.
Because you could go for a cheaper movie with an unknown property, unknown, untested idea. But you're not guaranteed the money. It's riskier. Here, you could throw out a bunch of money on a remake of a Disney movie, and you're guaranteed to make $1 billion. So for them, it's not a creativity thing. It's a money thing.
Trying to make more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense, actually.
It's just sad that a medium that is like based around highlighting creativity and imagination and like innovative ideas is like being reduced down to like, well, who can make the top dollar?
Yeah, exactly.
And we fall for it because we go to the movies and pay them to see it. We're part of the problem.
Sorry, guys.
It's all right.
I get excited. I do want to see the new Spider-Man movie, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to transition into my second story, bring it here locally. So in just a matter of days, you can buy tickets to Dave Chappelle's summer shows in Yellow Springs. He'll be performing 3 comedy shows at Weirig Pavilion in his hometown. So he created the Dave Chappelle and Friends show to provide comedic relief during the pandemic, and Chappelle and other comics will perform on July 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then tickets actually go on sale Monday at 10 a.m. on Ticketmaster. So, a lot of people obviously in Yellow Spring, he's very supportive of that area. And it should be good. I'm excited. I have never gone to see Dave Chappelle, but I'm like kind of tempted to get tickets for these shows because it should be a good time. Yeah.
I will be like the Swifties logged in to Ticketmaster
hours
before.
Okay, so you're gonna go?
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm a big comedy guy. I think comedy is very much like George Carlin has said. A lot of it is wordplay. If you're someone that likes words, and as journalists, we do like words.
Absolutely.
We play with words as our craft. And that's what comedians do. And they do it to bring joy to people. They do it to really lighten, like you said, give relief and escapism, which I love. And I think it's important to really showcase the arts. It is an art form.
Yep.
Especially having one of the biggest comedians in the world right here.
Exactly. I know. It's impressive. It really is. Do you think you'll go, Aliyah?
I actually have a very controversial opinion.
Okay,
I actually do not like Dave Chappelle's comedy. I feel like I'm a very very small minority. His comedy is just not for me. But I do love the fact that he's a huge comedian who's coming to his hometown and like doing all these shows and staying here and like promoting local comics and helping them out. I do think that is a very good thing that he's doing.
Yeah.
I personally just don't find him that funny, but
hey, to each their own. To each their own. Is there a comedian you do like?
My favorite comedian is John Mulaney and Bo Burnham, which I feel like that might be like that kind of just shows you what kind of comedy I enjoy. So I think it just depends on the type of comedy that people like.
Yeah. Well, I will say Chappelle does bring a lot to Yellow Springs. He's very supportive of his hometown. So it's great to see even that side of things, regardless if you enjoy his comedy or not. He really supportive of his community, which is
and
great.
That's
to
something
see.
that's really great is usually when someone makes money, they just get up and leave. My first job in this industry was in Nebraska, Hastings, Nebraska, the town that invented Kool-Aid. And I like to joke, yeah, there was nothing here, so the guy, the second he made money, ran off and went to Chicago, which is what people do. You make money in your small town,
Yep.
and then you move to somewhere bigger. So the fact that he still calls Yellow Spring home,
Yeah.
and he'll tour and go all these places, but at the end of the day, he comes back, I think is a testament to him, but also the community.
Yeah.
It just shows how special the community is.
I agree. So, all right. Well, do you have any other comedians that you would like to see if they were to come to the Miami Valley?
Yeah, I would love to see Bill Burr. I think he's great. He's another very controversial one, but I like being uncomfortable. I think being uncomfortable is a good thing.
I feel like that's kind of the point of comedy too, is to kind of to take people out of their comfort zone a little bit. So, yeah, I like. Okay, I really don't watch comedians very often, so if I might butcher this too. But Nate Bargatze.
Okay.
Is that right? Yes, that's it. Yes. So I love him a lot. He's a very like casual comedian. I like that. I feel like everything I hear him talk about is so relevant to my life. So it's really funny. And then also I hop on the Matt Reef train.
Oh yeah,
I don't even know what about it.
Actually, the comedian, we had our local comedian on our show today, Kyle Kemper, and he mentioned that his style of comedy is diet Matt Rife.
Is it? I love that. Yeah, I know Matt Reef, he's just blown up recently, and he's doing like a world tour, and his tickets sold out so fast. He's going to be in Cincinnati. I don't know when. I think it's in like October or something, but yeah, I was like, gonna consider getting tickets, but I didn't even have a chance.
John Mulaney actually came to Dayton last year for the first time ever, and I was on vacation for it, and I was so mad. I was like, I saw the dates, and I looked at my schedule, and I was like, are you kidding me? I'm gonna be across the country when he's here?
Of course.
This is not fair. So if you see this, I really hope you come back.
Yeah, Matt Reef, if you have any extra tickets. All right. And so, again, those tickets for the Chappelle show is, again, July 6th, 7th, and 8th. And they'll go on sale on Ticketmaster at 10 a.m. on Monday. So just in case you're interested. All right. So you guys want to go into love and hate of the week?
Sure.
All right. Andy, go ahead.
All right, my love of the week is I'm really excited. I'm going to go to my first ever Dayton Dragons game tonight.
Oh, wow.
So that's exciting.
Are you going to go to party at the plaza?
I am.
How
long have you been in Dayton now?
A little over a year.
And this is your first time?
This is my first
That's really
time.
exciting.
So,
I'm going to admit I haven't been to one yet either, and I've been here for 2 years. In my defense, I live 35 minutes away.
Okay.
So.
yeah, that changes things. I mean, you could just go to a Reds game.
Yeah, exactly. I live actually equally away from Cincinnati
really?
as I do from Dayton. So, yeah.
I mean, you might as well go to the Reds.
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially now. They're
Especially
doing
right
really
now.
well.
Exactly.
Which is my love of the week
Yeah.
is the Reds having their winning streak.
Okay.
I'm not even a baseball fan, but I just love seeing like everybody agreeing on something and just being like, this is something we all can support.
Yeah.
I also grew up loving the Reds. Like, I'm one of those people. I'm not a sports fan of anything, but when I grew up, I was like told who to cheer for.
Yeah.
Ohio State, Bengals, the Reds, like
Yeah.
who I should cheer for. So I was always cheering for them. I'll never forget that I did go to one Reds game when I was a kid. And one of my friends, her dad he was working a job where he got free tickets to the club suites.
Oh.
And I got to watch the Reds in the club suite. I don't remember if they were good or bad at this point. They were probably bad.
Probably bad.
But
Does it matter?
It doesn't really matter. I still had it was so much fun. I really do want to go see them now that they are
Yeah,
actually winning,
I
so I
know.
could actually
That's
see
great.
the vibes of
Yeah.
what it's like when they're winning.
Yeah.
It seems like a good time. All right, my love is our former meteorologist Adriana Michaels is getting married this
That's
weekend.
so
we're
exciting.
going up to
That's great.
Cleveland to celebrate her. So congrats, Adriana, if you're listening to
Congrats.
this.
Yeah, I saw her engagement photos that she posted. I'm so really excited to see the other ones that she has coming out.
Yeah.
That'd be so cute.
All right, what's your hate?
You know what? I've had a really good week.
Okay,
Though-
fair enough. No hate.
Actually, no.
No hater in me today.
I got into a car accident recently. I was rear-ended, and just body shop delays are very annoying. It's going to be like a
Car
month.
problems
Oh,
in
God.
general.
It's just like a month without my car now, and it's annoying.
awful. I'm so sorry. That
I'm going to have to
sucks.
return my rental soon, so that's going to be great.
So you don't have a car and you have to return your rental.
Well, I'll just have to pay. Yeah, I'll just have to pay extra.
You'll just have to pay extra
no.
to
Yeah.
keep. Yeah.
That's sad.
That's. I'm sorry. That sucks. I always have car problems, and
It's the worst.
I try not to think about my car problems. Put them in the very back part of my mind until
Yeah.
it's like not working.
All right. What's your hate?
My hate is the recent story about the Beatles' new song that's coming out with the dead members' voices being
And
created
AI.
with AI.
Yeah.
I actually really hate that. I think that AI is a good tool, but that's what it should always be. It should always be a tool. It should not be something where I personally feel like it's disrespecting the dead. Like we should not be taking their voices and making new music. I'm surprised that Paul McCartney even agreed to let them do this.
Yep.
I'm going to play devil's advocate if I can.
Okay.
The Beatles were always in the forefront of technology.
We're running out of time, guys.
The Beatles were always at the forefront of technology, so
I
this
guess
does kind of make sense that they would lean into this a little bit.
a little bit, but I do I think it just makes a difference the fact that the other members are dead.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I'm just,
but I do think that like AI is good for tools and other things, but some of the things that it's being used for is getting out of hand.
Yep.
And it's not being regulated enough for it to be expanding at the fast rate that it is.
Yep.
And I just don't like that it's going like we're going straight for bringing back these dead artists who we should just let them rest and appreciate the music that we do have of them.
Yeah, I agree. My hate, it's been a very tragic week in news. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of things about kids and animals and just the submarine situation, the big boats crashing and hundreds of people. And it's just been sad. So I've had to take time to kind of process it. And hopefully, if it's affecting any of you guys, you can have, take some time to just kind of decompress a little bit this weekend. So yeah, okay, real quick, final thoughts, and then we got to wrap up.
just enjoy the weekend. It's here.
Yeah, take this opportunity to take that wedding as this opportunity to move through the week to have a positive new week. That's what I think.
Exactly, and that's what mine was going to just say. Let's have a safe weekend.
No bad news.
Yeah, please. All right. Thanks for listening to Your Day Extra. This is Dayton 24/7 Now podcast. So make sure you like our Your Day social media accounts and subscribe to this podcast. Again,